Okay, all right. The sun is coming out, so we're gonna do. Ooh, it's still cold in here, so I've done myself another cup of tea. Welcome to Elvis Presley fan on keto. It's nice to do something over here for a change. We had quite a serious live stream. Let me see if I can get you guys on here. Right. It's England. It's freezing. It looks a bit sunny, but it is freezing. I've got loads of clothes on. I'm cold, colder than normal today. Don't really know why. So I want to do something just a bit more light-hearted. Let's get your comments on up here so that I can read them and go full screen on my video. That looks like it's working okay. Okay, obviously it's Elvis Presley fan on keto. We always get a few less on here, but it doesn't matter. Hi, Karen Thomas. Is this a different Karen? There looks like a new logo there. Karen, are you new or are you the original Karen that's changed the thing? Hi, Michelle. So I wanted to carry on doing this podcast with Riley Keough as promised. I did promise Frederick that we would do this. So I'm also very interested. This is a Riley Keough podcast I have not seen. I thought we could just listen to it together, just chill out a bit. I've got half an hour. No, it's me. All right, Karen, you've changed your thing. It looks very cool. Now, Karen, I'm guessing you're home. You're on your way home today. Karen, are you on your way home today? Okay. Right. Let's just play it. I'm just interested to learn about Riley. I know she's at the. I think Rick has been sending me stuff. She's at the Chanel Awards. I wonder if I wonder what happens if I go Instagram. I wonder if it will let me log into Instagram and show Rick's posts. Let's have a look. Now we do have quite a big Instagram channel on Elvis. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get Rick. Let's have a look. Rick, is Rick on here? So there's our Louis World of Elvis. Have you guys ever seen this is my Instagram page. I don't know if you know, guys, but we have a very good Instagram page. And our videos get thousands. Some of these videos have had hundreds of thousands of views. Just loads of archive footage and different things that we've done on Instagram. Louis World of Elvis. So I wonder if it's going to let me see Rick's messages. Turn on. Rick. I know Rick obviously wants me to talk about Riley. Shall I tell Rick we're live? I'll say to Rick we're live on keto. I'll put on keto. Okay, should we just read what Rick has said? Now, obviously, Rick is a massive fan of Riley Keough. Massive. He knows everything about her. So at the moment, she's at the Chanel. So let's have. This is a good with Riley Women's Wear. She tells us that after the Chanel, she's headed up to Dunkirk to film the new movie Butterfly Jam. She flew over with her friend Jade Hunter. Maybe Ben and Tupelo are joining her at some point. After France, the movie shoot shifts to New York. Interviewed at Chanel, Elvis Presley granddaughter Daisy Jones and the sixth star Riley Keough, who famously swung in a giant birdcage at the recent Chanel show, jumped up sorry, I'm struggling to read this. From her front row seat to share her excitement about being branded ambassador. It's amazing. I feel so lucky to be involved with the house, she said. When asked about her personal style and whether it was influenced by her grandfather, she acknowledged a love of less traditionally feminine silhouettes. I typically go for something a little more androgynous. Keough also spoke about her role as a custodian of Graceland's Elvis Presley's estate. After Lisa Marie Presley's passing in 2023, she embraced this responsibility, which I think she did, balancing the weight of her grandfather's legacy and her own voice and values. And I really just try and follow what my mother did. She said, I feel lucky to have seen how she wanted Graceland represented. It's about respecting what's come before while still finding my own path. I think that's really good. So let's so obviously Frederick has sent me a few videos. Let's click on this one. Let's see if it's going to work. Yeah. Let's have a go. We need the volume on it.
So I'm ready. Good morning, WWD. Get ready with me for the Chanel show. Too, it's so weird. I always wake up before my alarm goes off.
I think it's because we're moms.
It must be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm shooting a movie in France called Butterfly Jam next, actually.
All right. Is this the first time you will be filming in France then?
It is.
Where do you think of like living? What are you going to be doing living here?
Well, it's actually going to be like up north. Like we're shooting in like Dunkirk, which is probably a very specific experience. I've never been there. So not Paris.
What did you order?
More breakfast. Well, we had like a 3 o'clock order, a 5 o'clock order.
Jaden, where are you up?
Up in the table?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you so much.
You're welcome.
I got up at 3 in the morning.
Oh
I had
no!
breakfast at 3:30.
Right, let's pause that. So, mega famous, of course. Famous in her own right, Riley Keough at the Chanel Paris Fashion Week. And she's more than just Elvis's granddaughter and Lisa's daughter. She's got her own thing going on. Anyone that thinks that this girl makes her money living off Elvis, you are so wrong. This girl has created her own wealth. She doesn't need the wealth of her grandfather or of Graceland's. She is her own person. Yeah. And is this a different one? Let me just click on it.
Hi, Elle Singapore. I'm Riley Keough, and we are here at the Chanel show. I think my favorite look was the like red tweed look. It was just like very bold and like the bag was amazing and it just really stood out to me.
I'm Shy and I'm here in Paris for the Chanel fashion show. The looks that caught my eye were the ones that had the tulle layered over the tweed. Like the contrast of hard and soft was so well done. And also the looks with the hats. I'm a big fan of hats, so seeing that it was like, wow. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, these are all very recent. These are in the last few days. Yeah, this is Rick. Rick has been sending me these things, which I appreciate because I've got a lot to learn. I think this one in one of these clips, Riley is in there. I've got to turn the music off because otherwise it'll just block it. It's a proper show, isn't it, guys? Okay. Can we freeze on Riley? I don't think it's going to let us, is it? It looks like fun, guys. Come on. There she is. There she is. Of course, Riley looks the best. Of course she does. What does it say? Oh, it's all in French. Okay. Let's go back, see if there's any more we can find that Frederick has sent me. Let's have a look. What's this here? Lisa Marie on her 44th birthday. Okay. She's obviously with Riley here. Let's just have a little look. Music, guys. That music is so lovely. And this song really suits her voice, doesn't it, guys?
Happy birthday.
You got what? That's all right.
Oh, that's Marianne Cook, isn't it? That is. I'm sure that's Marianne Cook, Elvis's nurse. But also, look how nice and kind she is to the fans. That's what I love about Lisa. She always treated the fans with loads of respect.
That's right. Yeah, this is Jerry and Moss. Your grandfather.
Oh, rest in peace to Marianne Cook and, of course, to Lisa Marie.
I know. I missed your good day. My birthday too. Yes, happy birthday. You were so beautiful.
Happy birthday from the Romanian fans through my voice.
That's the
We love you.
store ever.
See you, Lisa. We love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday again.
I love that. And do you know what? The fact that she's with Riley, I think makes it even more special. Right, so let's see if I can go back to Instagram. We're looking at Frederick's posts at the moment that Frederick has been sending me. Yeah, that's beautiful footage, isn't it, guys? How can you not warm to that? It's like you really do get a sense of Lisa Marie in that, don't you? You just feel her. You empathise with her personality, her warmth. You just sense it. I think you guys are going to agree with me. What's this? Is Riley in this? Let's have a look. Oh, Riley Keough gives it a smile. Obviously, we know that Lisa was good friends with the Duchess, wasn't she? What did she call herself? Prince Eugene. I'm guessing, is that her daughter? Fergie. We always called her Fergie. Let's go back. She was friends with Fergie. Is that another one there? Let's keep going. We're just chilling together, guys. And look, there's me and my gift shop. That's my gift shop. I did when I was 19. My first ever business. 19-year-old Louis selling gifts in Weston-super-Mare Seaside. Of course, I have to talk about myself. Right, let's go back. Oh, there's Patty sent something. Let's have a look. Oh, Patty's just sent this. Book deals week May 6, 2024. Lauren Marino at Hatchet Book has acquired world rights to a memoir by Priscilla Presley with the headline to publish for Hachette UK. Alan Nevins at Renaissance Literary, a talent, booked the deal. Nevins said that Presley, whose previous memoir, Elvis and Me, was a bestseller, would open up about life after Elvis, the passing of her daughter, Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie marriage to Michael Jackson and forging her own identity as an actress and businesswoman, as well as offering new, never before shared intimate stories about her romantic life with Elvis. The book is tentatively set for the fall of 2025. Now, I've heard, I could be wrong, guys, I've heard this has been cancelled. I've heard that the publisher pulled out. I don't know if that's true. So, thanks, Pat. Right. Let's see if we can go back a bit further. So let's have a look. Have we watched this one? Let me click on this one. Let's have a look. Let's get some voice on it.
Breakfast at 3:30.
Just gonna put some water in.
I'm ready. Good morning, WWD. Get ready with me for the Chanel show. Too, it's so weird. I always wake up before my alarm goes
I
off.
think it's because we're moms.
It must be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm shooting a movie in France called Butterfly Jam next, actually.
All right. Is this the first time you will be filming in France then?
It is.
Where do you think of like living? What are you going to be doing living here?
Well, it's actually going to be like up north. Like we're shooting in like Dunkirk, which is probably a very specific experience. I've never been there. So not Paris.
What did you order?
More breakfast. Well, we had like a 3 o'clock order, a 5 o'clock order.
Jaden, were you up?
Open the table?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you so much.
You're welcome.
I got up at 3 in the morning.
Oh
I
no!
had breakfast at
Sorry about that. I'll just get in my tea. So in case you've just joined us, we did do quite a serious live stream on Priscilla Presley receiving this award from so-called Memphis, but really from Nashville, Tennessee. So I've been told it was the Nashville leaders that presented her with the award, not the Memphis City. There's a difference, I've been told. So we did a pretty good live stream on that this morning, and we've called it Priscilla Presley's Fake Award. Fake Memphis Award. So if you want to watch that, it's on Defending Elvis Presley. Because I just think that, in my opinion, the whole thing is a setup, in my opinion. I think it's all to do with money to be raised for this museum, this rock and soul museum that's going to get moved to Beale Street. I think it's a bit of a scam. That's my opinion. Right, let me try and find something we haven't watched. These are being sent to me by Rick. Rick is an avid fan of Riley. Let's just see what else we can get here. Is there anything else, or what's this? Let's try this one, shall we? Oh, it's just a picture. That's obviously Riley with... Oh, what's her name, that woman? Let's keep going. All right, keep jumping forward. All right, I think that's everything, but I have got an interview lined up. Let me just see if Rick sent me anything else. Anything you want to know about Riley, guys, go to Rick. He is an expert. Oh, there's, all right, he sent me one of Finley. Is that Finley? I think it's Finley. What is this one here? Oh, that looks like Demi Moore. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's Demi Moore, isn't it? So I'm guessing Riley's there. Right, one last quick look and then we're going to play the video. Oh, Pat, thank you, Pat. Pat's got me a coffee. Yay. Anyone wants to buy me a copy, guys? Thank you. I put it towards the laptop. Anything sent to me now is going towards the laptop. My wife thinks I've spent too much. Oh, what's this? Let's have a look at this one here. That's interesting, isn't it, guys? Let's keep going up. Demi Moore. There we are. There's Rose Riley again. I mean, shh. Rick, we're looking at you. View profile. Hi, Rick. There we are. We're very proud to have Rick as a member. Right, follow back. I thought I was following him. Right, okay. So let's go to YouTube. Where are we? Hi, Jimmy. How are you, Jimmy? We're just faffing around, really. Let's get to YouTube. We're just doing a little bit about Riley. Hi, Jane. Take care, Jane. So thank you so much for the coffee, Pat. You're too good to me. Right, let's find the thing I wanted to show you. Let's have a look. We were going to play some more of the Riley podcast. Let's see if it's there. If it's not, I can find it. Don't worry, I know where it is. Okay. Riley podcast 93. I got to put, I think, and then it comes up. There we go. Let's have a little listen together, guys.
Family and history, maybe the Presley family. And I'm curious, sort of like you grappling with that legacy of tragedy too in the family, you know, the way that your grandfather passed, the way that loss shaped your mom. And you have this anecdote of when you listen to Elvis's music, sometimes you'd feel angry because you knew how his loss shaped your mom. And so I'm just curious to hear that kind of in your own words, what that was like for you, particularly at a young age as you're developing a sense of self.
Yeah, I guess the grief was there since I was born, you know?
Yeah.
And I definitely had an awareness as a child, and I think children are very perceptive, and that there was like a sadness there.
Yeah, and I'm guessing she's referring to, obviously, Lisa never got over losing Elvis. I don't think until we read the book From Here to the Great Unknown, we really understood just how close they were. We've always known they were close. We've always known that there was a special relationship between Elvis and Lisa, but I don't think the public really understood just how close Lisa was to her father Elvis until the book came out, From Here to the Great Unknown, where she describes it, literally missing him every day of her life.
And then as I got older, I think that I recognized that his death was the root of that pain that I could feel in her. And so I did have like, but you know, it also informed my relationship with him. And I think my relationship and my siblings' relationship was, had a sadness to it with his music, with him, because we were aware that of my mom's story and her loss and all that. So, I think that it also, you know, maybe like very early on shaped the part of me that became a sort of a caretaker in my family. Probably.
So she's sort of saying that she looked after Lisa, yeah? I do think Riley does have a motherly way about her, a sort of, I'll look after you. You sort of trust Riley, don't you? You're like, you know, she's done it with Graceland. You know it's in good hands. That's the feeling I get from Riley Keough. I can trust you. That's how I feel.
Probably.
I just think of it as a force that everyone is contending with, like every single person, because our culture is just completely entangled in the force of it, of celebrity and fame. And I don't really think that it has to do with any one person at all. And the idea of anybody growing up and having to contend with those forces earlier than most is it's just really interesting and tender. And it's for kids to be contending with grief and caretaking like that, I think is it's tough, but it's also beautiful, you know, it's poignant.
Yeah, and I think it's like very common. I think that that's the thing that people ask me, like, to describe, you know, what it was like to grow up in the world I grew up in, but I don't know where to start because it all feels very normal to me. Like that.
Yeah, I've heard Riley say this many times. Her life growing up was just normal, yeah? Living with Michael Jackson. Her father liked to do things in a very simple way, didn't he? He lived a very simple life, Danny Keough. But then obviously you've got the Nicolas Cage part, and to her it was just normal. That was her life. She doesn't know any different.
That's something that actually happened. When I was writing the book, I would send it to my publisher and go, I could include this story, but it just feels really boring. Like, I don't know why. And he was like, none of this is boring to people. and I think that like it's really hard for me to have that perspective.
Sure, yeah.
Like I can obviously have an awareness that it's unique and totally crazy to people, but it just felt very normal. Like the I could imagine if you came into fame, actually, it might be more difficult because it could feel really intense. But from my sort of earliest memories, it was that sort of intense kind of life of security and the media and like that kind of experience. So it's kind of all that I knew. So I didn't feel, I mean, I'm sure it had like effects on me as a child, but I don't remember ever feeling like negative feelings towards it, actually.
I like that. I like that. Of course, now Elvis, when he became famous, it was so sudden that, of course, it completely transformed his whole world, his whole life, transformed everything. I do think Elvis struggled sometimes with the amount of fame he was getting, but I see Riley Keough's point of view. She's born into it. So her day-to-day existence with, with her life, the spotlight on her family, her mum, of course. I just think, being surrounded by security for safety reasons, I just think for her it's quite normal to feel famous, to feel to be in that world. Whereas for Elvis, it was very exciting and he loved it, but probably quite scary as well.
That's profound, actually.
I was reading about and hearing you talk about your process for writing this book, and it sounded like you had a selection of recordings that your mom had already done that you combed through after her passing.
Right, so she's going to talk about the tapes that made the book. This is going to be interesting.
To be able to work on the book. And I wondered in that process, when you're writing anything, I think, and that's sort of a memoir, looking back on your life, I think there's times when it's just you're simply recording the memories, and then there are times where you are more reflective and you sort of realize new things about why you are the way that you are, or how this experience shaped you. And I wondered if you had any moments like that while you were writing, in learning about your mom, doing this deep dive on her, and then also your own memories.
Great question, guys. So I like this. This question is trying to understand what Riley went through, how she felt. Let's listen to the answer.
I think that like my curse in life would be that I am like way too introspective. So I think that to the point where it's like a neurosis maybe. So I think that like there wasn't anything that I...
A deep thinker? Is that what she's saying? A deep thinker?
Was like, wow, I didn't see this, tie to this. I think that there were, what I had to do, because it was so deeply personal, was kind of find a way to, which I think you always do when you're a artist, is like, like I was kind of in my like writing brain or storytelling brain when I was doing it, because it also offered some kind of like distance as well. So with that lens, I think that there were a lot of parallels that maybe I didn't notice between my mom and, because I think you're looking for that sort of thing when you're writing. Between my mother and her father, between my mother and myself, between myself and my daughter. So I think that and I don't mean in a trauma way, not generational trauma, because that feels very forefront and obvious, but like little things, like the tone we talk to our children in, the things we like my mom. In my view of my mom was that, like, this is really simple, not profound thing, but like she loved horses, and I never realized till I wrote this book that her mom like had that sort of same sense of freedom when riding horses, and her mom's, and then it made me reflect on her mother's experience as a child, basically growing up at.
So she's talking about Priscilla. I think it's well known that Priscilla loves horses, yeah?
Graceland also, and having this like freedom in riding horses. And so there were all these kind of like parallels that I guess I hadn't seen before.
That's interesting. Riley,
I am curious, to hear a little bit more about your school experience and some sort of traditional things that we all experience, like your first love, your first heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also
Oh,
you
God.
like for a moment you did say school, but then you also said like me you didn't really finish anything. When did that
didn't.
start? When just give us a little bit of
Okay.
an
See, I don't know the answer to this. I think I may have read somewhere that she didn't finish school because she decided she wanted to be an actress. I think, or to do modeling. I think that could be it. Let's see what's said.
I'll give you the I'll give you the tragedy, which is my school experience. My mom did not value an education. My father was very much like the one who was like, they need to go to school, they need to have a schedule, but they were divorced, and also my mom was kind of the boss. Like
It's funny because I relate to this, yeah. Because I left school when I was 15. I left home when I was 15. I got into business when I was 19. So for me, leaving school was about making money, getting a job, making money. I wasn't interested in education. Things are very different now. In my household, you know, my wife, there's a big emphasis now on you must finish school, you must go to college, you must go to university, you must have qualifications. Even though I'm a businessman and I got into business so young, I've realized now that if you're well qualified, if you have good qualifications, you can get a very well paid job that gives you your weekends off, that gives you holidays. Where when you're in business, certainly in my life, you are working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. When I was in business for 30 odd years, we worked 7 days a week. So I always say to my kids, don't get in business because you'll end up working 7 days a week. Get a very well paid job, be qualified, just work 5 days a week, get your weekends off, get your nights off. Because I used to work a lot of nights. So I actually think it's better to get a well-paid job that you have your nights off, your weekends off, good holidays, than to work 7 days a week, 7 nights a week for 20, 30 years. That's just my opinion.
my dad tried his best, but she was kind of the one who was going to make the decisions. And she just like, her theory was kind of like, I think you guys are going to be in the arts and like, you don't need to know any of this. That was like where she came from. And so she was like, would pull us out. I mean, also our life was insane. Like we were traveling 24/7. So it was also, it became this thing where it was really hard for us because we'd leave town and come back 3 weeks later and I would be behind. So it always felt like I was like not where I needed to be, which then triggered this feeling of like that I was like inherently like stupid or something. And that was over and over again because it was always the same thing. I'd get pulled out of school, put back in school, couldn't keep up with the work. And to the point where I think when I was like 9 or 10, I got kicked out of school because I was so far behind. And
I get that. I completely understand that. It sounds to me like she wasn't academic. It wasn't her thing. Yeah. You know, some people just are really good, aren't they? Really take to education, to revising, to learning, to studying. I think you either are like that or you're not. It's like one of my kids, my daughter who's 18, she works with children. She's brilliant at it. She loves it. But she wasn't academic. Whereas my son, who is 16, had grade A's in everything and finished top in his class and top at everything and is extremely smart. I just think you get different types. So Karen was saying, Karen in Memphis, I think she's probably leaving today. Karen, it's okay that you've cheated on the diet. It's okay. Back to normal tomorrow. But you've been on holiday. Enjoy yourself. So Karen's in Memphis. She says her son left school at 15 and has an amazing job. And now a teacher, has an amazing job now. The teachers had no faith in him. Sounds like me. But, I work my ass off in business, but Do I recommend that for people now to work 7 days a week, no holidays, no weekends off, working most nights? I don't recommend that. I've even though I've done well, I did give up 20 years of my life in business. Like, it was almost like a prison. I loved it, but it was like a prison. I was always there. But if my wife turns up, I'm gonna have to shoot off, guys. So let's just see if she's gonna turn up.
And they kicked me out, and then I had a math tutor who was amazing. But it created this like feeling in myself that I'm like an idiot. Like it did. Like, and I didn't finish. Like, I think I graduated 3rd grade.
She definitely is not an idiot. She has proved again and again. Riley Keough has completely proved she's very savvy, very smart, and beautiful, and talented, and just amazing. I'm very impressed with Riley Keough.
But I don't think I ever made another graduation. Like, it was this constant like moving of schools, trying to catch up, like being tutored kind of a thing. And because like I viewed myself as like because I guess I like, because of that experience, I took that as I am dumb or something, like whatever. But actually what I realized when I got older is like that I like would have really probably excelled in school had I like not been taken out 24/7, you know?
She just wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I was terrible at school. Terrible. I was very naughty. I didn't listen. I flunked at school. But now, if I could go back to school now, I think I would have done really well.
And I really wanted to go to college. And so, you know, I basically, by the time I was 16, my brother and I were homeschooled. And we had a teacher in our school, in our class, my living room. and I just wouldn't show up. Like, I was like smoking cigarettes.
To class
leaving,
in your living room.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes? No, none of us would do that, would we? Come on, we all smoked when we were kids. When I was a kid, we all had a cigarette, a sneaky cigarette. We would steal cigarettes off our parents.
And I just, I like smoked at the time. And I was like also, at this point I was also like traveling a lot. Like, I was I was kind of like, what is the point of this at this point for me? My brother finished.
Come on, how many of you guys had a sneaky cigarette when you were kids?
Which was great. I didn't. I never finished high school. I probably got like a 9th grade education and then was like, see ya. And I wish that wasn't the case. And I wish that I was able, like, I wish I'd been able to graduate and go to film school and do the things that I wanted, but that wasn't like my trajectory. My trajectory was feeling like I was really dumb until I was in my mid-20s.
Learning.
Well, do you know what? It's funny because my experience with school is I was put into a school in a very rough area. So because I lived in town, my school was at the roughest part of town. So my friends were all naughty. This is the 70s. My friends were all very naughty. Yeah. So that's why I became naughty, because I joined in with the naughty kids.
A new language has actually always been on my bucket list, but between work, life, and work and life, and work and life and everything else, it felt impossible to find the time. And then
Karen and Pat, naughty. I'm telling your mum and dad.
I have been discovering Rosetta Stone, and it has completely changed the game for me. With Rosetta Stone, learning feels intuitive. Instead of just drilling vocabulary, I'm picking up the flow of conversations and starting to sound more like a native speaker. And the best part, the app is super easy.
All right, guys, I'm going to go. So we're going to carry on doing a bit more of Riley Keough. We're just sort of messing around on Elvis Presley fan on Keough. So if you just joined us, we've done, I think, a very interesting live stream on defending Elvis Presley, on Priscilla Presley's fake Memphis award. Please go and watch it. It's really good. I think it is. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. My wife's back. I will be doing a dog walk live next. So on defending Elvis Presley. So you take care, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm so glad Karen is okay. Karen, don't worry. Tomorrow's back to normal. You can get back onto the carnivore diet. Enjoy the last few hours of your holiday, Karen, in Memphis. Take care, everyone. Love to all of you. Thanks, Pat, for the coffee. Very, very kind. Very kind. Thanks to anyone that gets me a coffee. It all goes to the laptop.